I actually found it difficult to access services, which maybe have been a blessing in disguise, but also unable to access peer support, because I knew that when I walked in the room, they'd actually want me to talk, which wasn't going to happen. So I decided, actually, why am I waiting around for somebody else to do it? So I decided, sod it, actually, I'm just going to start my own group, which I did. So I run one group in Kent and a second group in London. But I also wanted to bring to you today that I'm also currently leading or starting a project, which is something that you mentioned, Sarah, about finding the voices and amplifying them. And you also mentioned about, community peer-led groups and about how 160, the number that are closing down. So this project is about a new space. We've had 2 larger meetings and we've had a smaller group meeting. And it's a space that's very community peer-led, all about community peer-led peer support. It embraces all the pieces of our history and kind of folds them all together, to share commonality. The interesting thing about it is it also is a space that remains curious, so it's time for us to explore, share knowledge. It also is one that's actually full of courage, because it's actually quite complex and messy. There's a lot of uncertainty about actually having this space to work in. And I think along with that comes the ability to actually show your vulnerability in that space, and I think that's highly linked to, showing your courage. So an acknowledgement of building around support within that space for all these voices that we want to amplify to come together, who are driven by community peer-led peer support. So, unfortunately, it's now called Get Up, Set Up, which kind of isn't quite as direct as Sod It, which is what I originally wanted. And also, it kind of links into something that you were talking about, branding, because actually somebody sent me a message update to say, why are you upset? Because if you take away if you start playing around with it, it's like get upset. Then somebody else said, oh, it's like one of those puddings. What is it? Goosoo? The abbreviation. Anyway, so we're hoping to have 3 strategic meetings this year, narrowing down the direction of where we're going, so that it's very transparent about what it is not, what we can offer and what we can't offer. We're currently supported by Mind. Whether they continue to do that, at the moment we're quite happy there, but, we will see what the future holds, so thank you.